APNU Vice Chairman Dr. Rupert Ryan does not think that Guyana is heading for a constitutional crisis, but rather the failure on the part of the government to recognize the reality of the 10th Parliament and would require a different kind of approach to legislation. Rupert Ryan is calling for a give and take in the National Assembly.
I don't think it augurs well in relation to the work of the National Assembly. We are facing at the moment, for instance, the very important money laundering bill, which is in Select Committee. The local government bills are in Select Committee. These things can only essentially emerge in a meaningful way if there is more give and take in the National Assembly. What the President has indicated by his brusque withholding of assent and his overrunning his constitutional time to do so has indicated, I think, a mindset that is not, I think, propitious. The fact of the matter is that the 10th Parliament differs from all previous parliaments since independence in that the government has a minority.
According to the APNU Member of Parliament, the reasons given by the President for not signing the two bills passed by the majority in the National Assembly could be challenged in the courts. The two bills the President refused to sign are the Fiscal Management and Accountability Amendment Bill and the Former President Facilities and Other Benefits Bill.
A second point is, of course, the President is completely within his constitutional rights to withhold his assent and to give his reasons. We have no problems with that either. Although I do believe that some of the reasons that the President has actually given in relation to his constitutional objections need to be tested in court. I do believe the court has to rule on whether or not the President has been correct in his interpretation of the particular provisions of the Constitution that he cited. That needs to be tested.
Dr. Ryan believes that in order to avoid the lessons of the past, the President should understand it is not business as usual. He feels there needs to be more transparency and noted the opposition has a responsibility to the taxpayers.
We are, in a sense, the watchdogs of the fund, and they have to recognize that without coming to us and explaining and really, as I say, being completely transparent in relation to these things, we are not going to get very far. I'm hoping that the lessons of the 2012 budget and the 2013 budget will have been learned by the government, and they will understand that, you know, it is not business as usual. It is in effect a new dispensation calling for new procedures, and these new procedures, I know, go against the grain of the government's way of proceeding. They like one-party rule, they like to rule by diktat, they believe that they seem to have a monopoly on wisdom in relation to legislation and other matters, and we have to demonstrate to them that Guyana in effect belongs to all of us, not just to them.
The APNU feels that President Ramatar's decision to withhold his assent to the two bills has violated the spirit of the Constitution. Reporting for Capital News, Royston Jakes.